Hello, my people. Hello, 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 hello. Today we're gonna cook catfish. Catfish. We're going to cook the most easiest food on the planet. We call catfish. Catfish is the most, the most easiest food on the planet to cook. But if you get it wrong, it's the most. Let me tip this camera like this. Let me bring it closer and tip it like this so you can see inside the pot. You know? Let's do it this way. Let me bring the pot here. Here we go. Let me bring it closer. How you doing? I hope all is well. Today we're gonna cook catfish. Fresh catfish is already been washed, clean, because I've already shared a video how to clean your catfish. Yes, because if you don't want it too fishy, you're gonna get a backup lighting. I can hear all what you're reading. Oh, please, can you just show on my camera, please? Hello, my people. As you know, this is home cook. Anything can happen in the background. Anything can happen in the background. Okay? Okay? Yes, I hope you can see. We are going to use palm oil to cook this deliciousness. Palm oil. Okay? So if you want to see, this is so easy to cook, but it's very, very delicate. It's very, very delicate to cook. So you have to make sure you listen to the recipe. You watch the recipe carefully how I'm doing it. Just give me a second. Let me just share the program on Facebook. So maybe we'll have people who want to see how I'm cooking it. Yes. It's the most easiest to cook, but if you get this wrong, it can be very, 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 very bad. So this is the best way, If you follow the recipe I'm going to show you, you will never eat boring catfish ever again. It doesn't need a lot of ingredients. Right. Okay? Let's try to plug this on. Plug this on. Let me bring the pot closer. Let me bring the ingredients in the back so you can see when I'm putting the ingredients. I'm going to talk you through the ingredients, my people. I'm going to talk you through the ingredients. Let me just tidy up a bit here and bring the pot closer. so you can see inside the pot. Yes. Okay. Right. The lighting is a bit overwhelming. Let me stand this like that. Right. Let me get myself a spoon. You know myself. Spoon. Okay. I'll show you the ingredients. Pots, 1, 3. Open the pots. I add like a cup of. You can use any palm oil of your choice, but because I haven't been to London, this is Zomi. Zomi is a specific palm oil from Ghana. Zomi comes from Ghana. Ghana. Yes, Ghana. Just like 2 cups, or a cup of or cup and a half. Because after the cooking, if you don't want it, you can still take it out. But we're gonna burn this a bit. Let me bring the fire higher. We're gonna make sure that we burn this oil. Yes, now it's in your vision now. Trust me, if you follow this method I'm going to show you, you're going to enjoy to eat this catfish. Let's burn the oil. The oil has to burn a bit, although yes, Zomi oil is not like Sierra Leonean oil. The Zomi oil, I've already shown you. Oh, the ring is showing right inside the pot. Let me bring that ring outside. Okay. Yes. I'm gonna show you how I cook this. Trust me, if you follow the recipe, you are going to be eating very delicious. The ingredients are not much because this one, some people when they cook this kind of food, they use a lot of ingredients. And catfish don't want this kind of ingredients. Catfish want fresh ingredients. That's exactly what I'm going to show you now. Fresh ingredient. That's what I'm going to show you now. I'm just sharing, my people. Yeah, sharing is caring. In case of somebody is interested to watch. Or maybe somebody is going to say, okay, I'll watch later. So, as the oil is burning now, because we need to burn this. And because of this Zomi palm oil, it's very easy to burn because of it's already burnt. Yeah. It's already been burned. When I say burn, like bleaching the oil a bit. We need to bleach the oil. For those of you who doesn't understand some of my English, don't worry about it. English is not our language. English is not our language. So we are just trying to get by. Every one of us have our languages. So if you can able to understand, please just understand that English is not our language. If you don't understand some of my English, please let me know in the comment box. I'll come back. Maybe simplify the English for you. Okay? In writing. If I say something and I show you an ingredient you don't understand, please let me know. As the oil is bleaching now, I'm just sharing. Yes. Okay. As you can see, this mobile cooker is the fastest thing on the face of the earth. So fast. You see? Has already bleached. So the first ingredient I'm going to put here now. Let me bring it down a bit. The first ingredient I'm going to put in this oil. You see how the oil has already bleached? It's too smoky at the minute. You might not see it. Let me just put the heat down a bit so you can see the color. You see, as you see like this is about almost 350 degree hot. As you see the spoon is shimmery like that, you can know that this is really, see how white it looks now, like oil, like sunflower oil. The first ingredients we are going to put in this pot is the fresh tomato, but you can use any tomatoes of your choice. Any tomatoes of your choice. But me, I like fresh tomatoes. I blanch them for 3 minutes. I take off the skin. To tell you that this is very hot, you have to be very careful. You don't want to burn yourself. You don't want to burn yourself. You have to be very, very careful with palm oil. Palm oil is the most difficult oil to cook with, but it's the most delicious. You don't want that to fry. You see? Let me open that door a bit. Because if not, the smoke alarm will be taken off. So now, this is the fresh tomatoes. Okay? If you want to bleach the palm oil like this, because this is palm oil, make sure when you want to add anything, because this fish is not going to be fried at all. We are not going to fry the mudfish. Some people call it mudfish. Now, here, I have a teaspoon of fresh grind ginger and 4 cloves of garlic grind together. But you can buy the paste already, the ginger paste and the garlic paste. Okay? You add this inside this pot, in these tomatoes, because we don't need the onions in this pot yet at all. This is the most with catfish. Catfish, you want this. This is lemongrass. If you cook catfish, you don't put lemongrass, you can get this in the Asian shop, the dry one, or you can get it in your grocery shop. Yes, because this is catfish, you need lemongrass. This is just the fresh tomatoes, but you can use canned tomatoes. This is fresh thyme and fresh ginger, but you can use dry. It doesn't matter, you can use dry one. fresh thyme and fresh ginger. And I'm gonna tell you something. When I wash this fish, I just season this fish with salt. 1 teaspoon of salt, because I'm not gonna add salt anymore here. Okay? Let me get another. Okay, I'm gonna put this is bay leaf. Bay leaf. Half a teaspoon of black pepper, half a teaspoon of white pepper. This mobile cooker is so powerful. Now in here, I have 2 bay leaves. I have fresh ginger and fresh rosemary and tomatoes and half a teaspoon of black pepper, half a teaspoon of white pepper, and a lemongrass. This lemongrass stick, you just mash it to release all the oils with the tomatoes. And you add mustard, 1 teaspoon of mustard, any mustard of your choice. Don't put the whole grain mustard, because if you put the whole grain mustard, it's going to taste like fish egg, and you don't like that crunchiness in this kind of sauce. Okay? You don't want that kind of crunchiness in this kind of sauce. So now I'm going to add, let me show you the cup of this seasoning. This is all the Asian seasoning. Trust me, that is something. Let me look for the cup, because I want to show you how it looks. So if you go to a local grocery shop, if I can find it today, maybe I'll look for it. I don't know where it is right now. Let me just add my ingredients, but I'll show you. These are all different, about 6 or 7 type of spices. Just half a teaspoon, because you don't want too much, because you're not cooking curry. You don't want too much. And now I'm going to add my pepper. This is cut bonnet pepper. It's very, very hot. Yes, but because of his fish, some of you, when you are cooking, just use 1. If you don't have spice tolerance, please just use 1. But for me, I use about 6, because I'm a spice tolerance. Okay? So now I'm going to use 3 Maggi cubes. Only 3. Because don't forget, the mustard, the black pepper, white pepper, the tomatoes, everything release their own natural taste. So we don't want overpowering. You go and put like a dish like this, you go and put 4 or 5 seasoning. Maggi is the best Maggi. You can get this in your grocery shop, in the Asian shop. Maggi is the best in this kind of cooking. Just use the small cubes, because all this stuff in here, they have their own taste. They're going to release in the pot. So just imagine when you overpower with seasoning, you're not going to taste. And in cooking, I always tell my people, you have to taste. You see, because of I bleach the palm oil, now it doesn't look like palm oil, it looks like oil. So now, let me wash my hands, because I want to use my hand to cook the fish. Right, before I go, let me show you first. Let me, please, Photoshop please. You need this in your kitchen. If you want to season your ingredients overnight, your fish, your chicken overnight, this can be the best. I just put a teaspoon because this can be very bitter because of this got all spice. It got, as you can see, all these spice are blended together in here. Curry, star anise, all the spices, they are in here. So that's why I just use half a teaspoon in this pot. Because if you put too much, the food will be very, very bitter. Let me wash my hands. Let me wash my hands. Let me wash my hands. Okay. Now, let me come now to put down the star of the show. Stir it a bit. Stir around like this. Stir everything around. No onion yet. You put this fish, fresh fish, like this. This is mud fish. I've already shared how to clean this kind of fish. I have here a lonely crab and the prawns, but I'm putting all this liquid because of its only salt. So now, use these onions, spread these onions on top like this. Don't cut the onions because of some of the sauces, unless if you want to cook it like you are pureeing stuff. If I was going to fry this fish, I was going to cut the onions and blend them with the spices. But because of the fish are not fried, so I need a little bit of this on top of it. You see? So just cover like this. Because of this cover is going to release some moisture. That moisture is going to steam those onions on top of, and it's going to keep all the flavor of the onions inside this pot. So that is why when you spread the onions on top like this, cover. Because of the bottom is going to give the fish flavor, the onions are going to give the fish another flavor on top because the fish is not fried. This is the best way to cook fish this way. I have different methods. I know how to cook this in granite soup. I know how to cook this fried. If I fry that fish, catfish, I fry it, I was going to blend everything. The pepper, the onion, the tomatoes, blend it together. And put a different kind of ingredients. That is why I always say, subscribe to this channel. All this I'm going to wash them and bring that liquid because they are not going to be wasted. Bring that liquid and come and pour it. All this liquid, all the things I use, I'm going to wash it in small water because I don't want them to be wasted. So I'm using that. I'm going to use that liquid here because I need a little bit of water here, but not yet. Okay, but make sure that you be stirring this periodically. Don't just let it like that because you don't want it to burn. Let me wash these things. This glass. So I'm going to use those liquid. Okay, I'm back. So I've washed those things. This is the water. So let me just clean up here and there. See how it looks? So now turn the fish. Turn the fish round. Turn the fish round. Look at that head. You see? You see how it looks like it's semi-fried? So they have soaked into those wonderful juices. You see the reason why I said for you not to chop the onions? So now we're going to use this liquid to add into these pots to cook this fish. Blend everything together. Stir everything together like this. Stir everything together like this. Like this. Let me wash the cover. I'm going to put my lowly crab in the middle. That prawns is not going there yet. Some of you might think that that water there is too small. No, it's not small. It's just enough. It's just enough. We don't need plenty water in here. Okay, you leave this to boil. Because don't forget it's fish. Don't forget this is fish. You don't want it to cook for 1,000 years. So now I'm going to put in this kind of cooking in my country, this kind of cooking, we call this boil soup. I'm going to put this is a tomato puree because I haven't got the homemade tomato puree. In this kind of soup, you can put tomato puree, fresh tomato and tomato puree. Okay? Put the tomato puree, put it in the middle, make this to, we want this to go everywhere. This is the tomato puree. You can get this kind of tomato puree, but you can use any tomato puree of your choice. Any tomato puree of your choice, my people. We call this in my country boil soup. Boil soup. In Sierra Leone, we call this boil soup. Because of the tomato puree are stuck in this crab. I don't want it to just stuck in the crab. Yeah. Let me even take this crab off. I'm gonna, when I stir this like this, make sure you go all in the inner corner of this sauce. All the inner corners of this. Now I'm going to turn this egg, this wonderful egg round, because I want the sauce to go inside egg. Okay? because this is the way if you want to enjoy. I know how to make this to roast. You see, the puree has changed the color. Soak this big boy. Soak these girls around like this. Because in this cooking, oh yes. Don't try this food. My lonely crab. My lonely crab, I need you here, buddy. Lonely crab, I need you in here, buddy. I'm just going to give this a little bit of water. Please, when you are cooking this kind of dish, if you need water, do not put cold water. Do not put cold water. If you put cold water, you're going to change the taste. You're going to change the taste. Put hot water. Boiling water. I'm going to put another ingredient. I like, this is okra. Like 1 or 2. So it's going to, I'm going to add this Scotch bonnet pepper on top. These are not the hot ones. This is boiling water. Another cup of water. Because that fish is big. We need that to cook down. You see the reason why I say you shouldn't blend the onions and the tomatoes. And this okra is going to boil. Okay? That okra and that Scotch bonnet pepper, we want it to be cooked. We want all this to be cooked because it's a big fish. And I'm going to add a little bit of cassava. This is a cassava. I'm going to add this cassava in this cooking. But make sure you put this now like this, because we don't need any more moisture inside our pot. No more moisture, because if I add enough water, let me do this one properly. Because if you cover it, you cover this now, the cover is going to create a lot of water. We don't want that. We just want now the cassava to cook, the fish to cook thoroughly, the okra to cook thoroughly. This is very, very good. When you are eating the rice with this, you mash the okra. Ooh! If you are somebody who eats spice like me, you are mashing those spices I just put on top of it. You will enjoy. So I'm going to repeat the ingredients I put inside this pot, if I can remember. I put half a teaspoon of black pepper and white pepper. And I put half, when I say half, like a pinch of this seasoning. Because this is all the spices you can think of. And this is fresh fish. You have to put this kind of flavors. And then don't forget a lemongrass. When you cook lemongrass with this dish, you're not going to taste the rankiness of the fish, because this fish is full of rank. So you're going to cut that so you can enjoy this fish thoroughly. You have a lemongrass. You have tomatoes, a fresh tomatoes, a tomato puree. Okay? And you have fresh thyme, fresh rosemary, ginger, and garlic. Minimize it, please, because less is more. Less is more. Ginger and garlic. You know my cooking. I don't cook anything without putting ginger and garlic. Ginger and garlic is just so full of goodness in the food. And then 3 Maggi cubes, because all this got their own. This alone is got like a taste of like seasoning. So just imagine if you put a lot of seasoning like Maggi or different cubes, in this pot, you're not gonna taste the fish. And here, the star of the show is the fish. This is the star of this show is the fish. We want to taste the fish, because you know some people, when they are cooking, you just taste a lot of ingredients. You don't even taste the star of the show. And any cooking have to have a star. If you are making chicken, the chicken is supposed to be the star of the show, and you have to taste that fine taste of it. Don't worry, just leave it to boil like this. Yes, because we need the cassava to cook, and that water is going to go down. By the time everything go down, you have to soak this bad boy because it's too big. Bad boy or bad girl. I don't know if it was a female fish or male fish. Don't worry about it. I've already shared the tutorial how to clean this fish. Yes, because it's a slippery fish. You need to take some of that slipperiness with lime and salt. When I was showing the tutorial, I forgot to show you that there was salt in the bowl already. And when I finish, you put it in hot water before to scrape some of this dark in the fish. And then when you finish, because of I have a lot of fresh ingredients inside this fish, that is why I don't overpower. I don't season the fish with a lot of different spices, because of I'm going to use fresh garlic, fresh thyme, fresh rosemary, bay leaf, fresh ginger, fresh garlic. So what I did, after I rinse the fish finish, I just season it with a teaspoon, a whole teaspoon of salt. That is why you are not seeing me adding any more salt. If I need any more salt, I will add it, but less is more. Cooking, you just have to use your brain. Yes. So we're going to leave this now to shimmer until the oil floats on top. We know that it's ready. Okay? So we're still going to cover this halfway. This way. We still need to cover it halfway. Oh my Lord. Woo! The taste of this come through, my people. The taste, all those fresh ingredients. And don't forget, I put 3 Maggi. 3 Maggi. 3 Maggi. Just imagine a fish like this. If you cook this with like that Chinese salt, I see most of the ladies are cooking on social media with. As soon as you finish eating it, you feel like you're gonna throw up. Sorry for my disgustingness, but you don't want that, because you don't want that, because this is fish already, and you go and use that kind of salt. And some of you don't eat a lot of spice. Some of you don't eat a lot of spice. You cook with natural ingredients. Less is more. Less is always more. You add your ingredients. Because the reason why I don't like to tell people about measurements, sometimes when you measure in scales, people, you don't get it right. But if you use your common sense, you know that if you put one tablespoon of salt in that cooking, it's going to be too salty. So you just add. That's how I cook in my house. That's how I cook. I use salt to season. I use my salt to season. Because just imagine all those ingredients I just add in that sauce. If I could have used that amount of ingredients to season the fish is just going to taste of a lot of ingredients. You're not going to taste the food anymore. And in this cooking, we need to taste the food. Yes, I was washing my, yes, stir this periodically because we don't want the fish to stop under at all. Just stir it periodically. Periodically. It's almost done. It's almost done. Just stir this. All those ingredients I did not blend, I want them to cook. Okay? Yes. Yeah. If some of you are watching, you want to opt out, you can opt out, opt in again to see the finishing. Because I'm not gonna turn it off. I'm not gonna turn the light off. If you have patience, just wait for the finishing. Yes. Or if not, I will turn it off, press the notification bell. Before I plate this dish, I'm going to show you the finishing. So you can come back because you have already seen how I make the ingredients. So you're going to see now how I'm going to do the damage. Because it's going to be, I'm going to eat it on camera. So you can, I'm going to turn this off because I don't like long lives. I don't like it. Unless if I'm on my Facebook, I can go long for 2 hours. But this kind of cooking, I don't like to go too long. So now, before you go, I'm going to add my prawns. Because as I told you, I don't like my prawns to be too chewy. So that's why I normally put them last. Okay? I put them last. That lemongrass, thyme, rosemary, garlic, ginger, onions, tomatoes. You can't go wrong with this at all. Oh, delicious. I'm going to come back. Let me go and steam my rice. I love you for those of you who wait. I'm going to show you this time, but I'm going to show you when it's finished as well. I'm going to lower this because I don't want this to burn. It's going to be just slow cooking now. And I don't want you to stare at it. Some of you will be swallowing your saliva now. So I'm going to steam my rice. I'll come back. Press the notification bell so you to see the finishing.